Hi, everyone. Welcome to Laura's Lane. I'm Laura. Cheers to you. And today's pretty cool. I'm really excited. This is my first time that I'm having somebody join me on a video, and it's a very special person that I really adore and love, and that is very inspiring. And so I wanted her to come on and do a reading with us. And her name is Nancy, and she has a channel. It's Angel Aniel Messages, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'm going to bring her on right now. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Laura.
I'm so happy that you're here with me.
Yeah.
And I'm
Happy
so
to be here.
excited. So, what I didn't share with everyone was that you've been doing card readings for over 20 years, which is pretty cool. And one of the things that I focus on with my channel is just getting grounded and coming back to the now moment so that we can like move forward. So I was just wondering, just to start off, if you would maybe share with people maybe just a couple things that work for you. Like, how do you ground yourself when you feel like maybe you're spinning out?
Right. That's happens a lot. So how do I ground myself? I think about Laura and her rise and shine and doing the breaths. Lately more I've been stopping myself and going, okay, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Our minds can take off and create scenarios that haven't even happened yet. So I have to slow myself down and say, okay, maybe this is where I am. Sometimes what's the worst that can happen? I love to go out in the grass if I'm at home. If I'm in the car, I spend a lot of time in the car, but so I will stop and just sit in the parking lot or wherever I'm at and just kind of breathe and pull myself back. And there's what's the worst that could happen in this moment.
Oh, so you kind of look, what's the worst? What's the best?
Grounding, exactly. When
Mhm.
you start, freaking out about what might happen,
Right.
the fears that come up. What is the fear? That kind of thing.
It's so true. It's the whole thing of if you're living in the past and you're living in the future, you're not really here. So the brain can spin out. So the breathing does work for you. And then it sounds like you also go into your backyard and get actually on the earth and do some grounding that way, like the actual charged grounding.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Yes.
wonderful. And you're blessed because, so just so you know, everyone, we are out in northern Arizona, just outside of Sedona, and we're kind of rocky terrain, but Nancy is very blessed to have a lot of grass.
And trees, and you can hear the birds chirping. I don't know if you could hear the birds chirping.
Yes, yes, we can. That's awesome. So today, do you want to share a little bit about how you feel about the card readings? I know you shared a little bit with me beforehand, maybe a message for people and how they could utilize it or why.
Yeah. So it depends on the cards you get. But a lot of them give you some messages that, if you ask, we're talking to ourselves anyway. We're talking to our higher selves. And if you believe that there are guides, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, something that's helping, something that gives you breath, that is to just take the cards and just shuffle it a little bit, see what pops out, pull something out, and it might be something you need to hear. Not always an answer, not a yes or no, but usually for me, when I do the readings, it's okay, what do I need to know right now? This is something that I need some information. I need some help. And that's a lot of times when I go to it. There's also the confirmation. Am I doing this right? Am I on the right path? So, and that's not always a yes or no, but it's okay. Yeah. More of a pat on the back and yeah, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. So some of those answers doing okay. Now it depends on the cards also as well that you have. And then Laura, you have a bunch of different cards.
Mhm.
And then you can look at the pictures and the symbolism in the pictures, the colors or the, whatever. So if you are going to get some cards, get something that you like to look at, something that's beautiful, something that don't get something that you look at the picture and you go, oh, I really don't like that so much. That's not going to help you at all. So when I help when I work with other people, they usually have a question in mind. And of course, what comes through now, I've been doing it a lot. So I have I'll read the cards, but there's also symbolism in the cards. And then also just picking up on maybe some of the energy that that person has and how to help interpret that for them. So that's how sometimes when you have another reader work with you, that might help in that way.
Okay. Everyone out there in Laura's Lane land, Nancy is just kind of started to open up her availability more than she had before. So we'll give you some more information at the end. But Nancy, I don't know if this will work for you, but I've been talking to people. I know it's happened for myself, for my mom. There have been a lot of really crazy dreams lately that people are having, and it's not just us. Would it be possible for you to just kind of go through and do a reading and say, hey, what is all this about? Why now? What's being revealed through these like dreams that are a little maybe intense, or dreams are never based off reality, but would you be able to do that?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, great.
Okay. So I'm going to tip the camera. How's that? Good.
So far, so good. I can see your hands. Yeah.
All right. All right. So these are called the Akashic Records Oracle. And here we go. Can you see that?
Yes, I see stuck in lack.
Stuck in lack. Yes. So that's something that a lot of us are feeling right now. Yeah, and here's the message, right? You have all the resources you need to carry you through, whether it's financial, emotional, physical limitations that you think you have. It's only ego-based fears taking over. Rein them in and don't give up. Wow. So is there something that's coming out in your dreams that underlying is that feel like there's a lack? And like it says on here, it's not always financial. We may have an emotional lack. We're needing some help, emotional support. And then physical. Sometimes we have pain that's limiting us in some way. So let's start out with that one. Let's have a backup one for that, because I think it's not real clear. Okay. Warrior spirit. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
Can't see.
I'm trying to figure out a layout that's going to work.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So everybody, sorry, this is the first time with StreamYard trying to figure out how to switch between screens, but go ahead, Nancy.
Okay. Warrior spirit. I don't know. Lean it back so I can read it. Relentless commitment to challenges, approaches life as a personal battle, here to master your forceful nature. So it's almost like here's the problem and here's the answer, right? Yeah. So we're feeling stuck in lack, and we need to be the warrior spirit. So basically, to me, this is a kind of a confirmation that you can do this, whatever it is that's lacking in your life. That's why we're here. We're here to work on that, and we are a warrior. And we're not only helping ourselves, but when we start working on ourselves, other people will pick up on that. You don't have to say, hey, do this, hey, do that. They're going to see you, right? That's what your channel is all about, Laura, is helping other people feel inspired and taking care of themselves. And when you feel good about yourself, that's going to radiate to other people as well.
Amen.
Okay.
It's almost like it's very interesting that you get like stuck in lack, and I like how you described lack being in many different forms, that could be showing up in our dreams. And then the warrior spirit is to overcome those things. Is that how you're kind of reading it? That like step more into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I think it's basically saying that you can do this, right? You can do this. You have everything you need. I know we don't feel like it sometimes, but that's where, when I talked about what's the worst that can happen, is going through that scenario with yourself. And when we are in lack, we tend to think of all the worst things that can happen instead of thinking, well, what if the best thing, what if there's something else and it's better than what I'm thinking of now, right? There's always options. And I think that's a part of it, right? That's part of your toolbox, as you
Yes.
say. So see yourselves. Okay, this one says spring. See your seeds grow. So what are those seeds? I think you talk about that, Laura. Can you add a little bit to that?
Oh, planting seeds. Yes. Well, to me, planting seeds is intentional, but it's not forced. I mean, if you think about a seedling, like if you put it in the ground, you let it go. You water it, you tend to it, but you don't dig it up every day to see, okay, is something happening? Like if you do that, guess what? You uproot it and nothing's going to grow. So to me, that's seed planting in yourself, seed planting in others, seed planting in a garden. It's for me, that's kind of like that's who I am. I'm a seed planter. So that speaks strongly to me. And I'm wondering if, in relation to this reading, that there's something in our dreams that, what else is on that card? That it's like our dreams are planting seeds in us for either like a release or something to acknowledge, something to work on. I guess it depends on each individual, right?
Right, right. So I just got one more card. It says broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace.
Hmm.
So yeah. So in our dreams, usually it's like something you can't control, right? It's just happening and you're sitting there basically having to watch it play out in a dream, unless you're good at lucid dreaming and you can get in there and you can change things, right? That's a whole nother story. But like you said, what's going on in there? Is it processing through? Are we seeing those seeds? Are the things that are happening that we feel are beyond our control, is that telling us that we need to work on that? Is that what's going to grow? So then the embracing the energy of peace. I think a lot around us, there's not a lot of peace going on right now. People are trying for peace, and there's a lot of control issues going on.
Absolutely.
And I think bringing that to daytime when you're awake, and the bottom line is to feel peace. Why are we going through what we're going? Why is it such a struggle? I think it's to feel peace, right? And no matter what situation you're in, we always want to get there. To me, I always asking, well, why am I going through this? What is the purpose of this?
Right.
What if I get to where I want? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that peace card speaks to, like, because I was having a conversation with my mom about some crazy dreams that she was having that were just like really upsetting and disturbing, and I feel like those things with that peace card at the end, to me, for in relation to my mom, for her specific situation, I feel like I can go back to her and say, hey, go be at peace with these dreams, because these things might be coming up just to be released. Like it might
Yeah.
be old stagnant energy, because she's older. She's an older generation. She never had the tools or the conversation or the dialogue to like work through these kind of things. So it might be, there's just so much energy hitting the planet right now anyway. So she might, some of the stuff might be just being rustled up by now living with me. Do you know what I mean? And the energies that now it's like coming up to like clear in a sense. So that peace card in relation to my mom, now I know that, you know, everyone has their own situation. It makes a lot of sense in this reading for my mom's situation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and to release, you know, the bottom line is that being stuck in lack, right? If we don't have peace, there's something missing. We feel there's something missing,
Right.
and that's what we're doing, right? We're always trying to find something that we think is missing from us. That's the constant scrolling on your phone or trying to find that one thing, whatever it is, physical, mental. You know, we're all looking for peace, a little bit of calmness in our lives, something to, and that's during your dreams is, you know, yeah, what is that? And I think you're right as far as that letting go of those things, and that's when, you know, that's the warrior, being the warrior.
Yeah.
Is you see it, okay, now what you deal with it? Do we fight it as a warrior, or do we stand up and be strong enough to say, hey, you cannot have control over me?
Right.
Right, that's your power. That's
Yeah.
being the warrior, is you don't have
Mhm.
control over me. I can see you and I will let you go because I want peace.
It's so powerful. What a great statement. And it's sounds so easy, but it's not always that easy, right? But it is easy, but it's not. Complicated simplicity.
Right, right. It's all, the bottom line is love, right?
Of course.
Peace and love.
Yeah.
If you don't have love, then you have fear.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have fear if you felt love towards even the things that are not so good in your life,
Right.
that are not going your way. So how can you approach it with love? And even if it's not love, how can you have a few moments of peace?
Ground yourself. Come back to the now moment, people.
Yeah. And that's tough sometimes, especially when you're in the middle of it, like in the middle of a heated conversation, whether it's out loud or to yourself. I think I beat myself up more than other people could beat them up. That beat me up.
Mhm.
And I think I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, that they're always feeling like they can do better at something. And as long as you use it for your growth and searching for that peace and not just staying stuck in lack or stuck in fear that you're never going to have enough, you're never going to be enough, and use that when you feel yourself like attacking yourself or beating yourself about something, is to find out, well, what's this about? Why am I doing this? You know, and then go in and go a little deeper. What is this about? And sometimes the cards help, you
Oh
know.
yeah, the cards would definitely help with that. It's because
Um,
sometimes we don't feel like we have the reflection tools to actually figure it out. Sometimes we are still reaching out,
mhm.
and cards would be really a nice option,
Yeah,
right?
and we always want somebody else to give us the answer
Hmm.
and not always believe what comes to us,
Our
right? You've
intuition,
got
yeah.
some great cards that you've been doing your series when you do your reflections. Um,
Hmm.
is they make you think about things that you haven't thought of before. And I think that's the huge part of whatever, whether you're doing your own cards, you're watching other people, you're watching some podcast of someone explaining something that worked for them. It's having those options out there. There are options out there that just give you another idea, and not that you totally take what someone else says for law, right?
Right, right.
It's just another option. It's another way of looking at something
Absolutely.
that gets you thinking about other things instead of being stuck in your own little lane, right? Get out
Right.
of your own little stuck lane when you're stuck. You may not always be stuck, but like when you're watching Laura and you go, she brings up all kinds of different tools, right? And there are other options that we don't always think about. And that's what's great about the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Absolutely.
just let it come to you. If we weren't sitting here talking about this, what would you as the viewer look at that card and say, what does that mean to you?
Right.
That kind of thing.
What does it say on the bottom of that one?
It says embrace the energy of peace. And it's broken arrow. So in the Native American tradition, I think if I'm right, that when two tribes were fighting, they would break the arrow and put it down and then go away. And then they would be like, okay, we're going to fight.
Oh.
When they handed the arrow that was together, then that would be peace. I think that's what this is relating to.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's something in that realm, right?
Right. To me, anyway, that's what's coming to me. And then there's these arrows. I mean, there's different, there's one arrow going up, and one arrow going down in a diagonal. They're meeting in the middle. So that could mean something else to you.
Right.
Some of this one's going up. These two are going down. As above, so below. As within, so without. That whole concept.
So many ways to read it.
Exactly. And it might depend on the day. I've had these cards for a very long time, and sometimes I look at it and go, oh, I didn't even know that was in there. Like there's this flower of life pattern in the background that I didn't even know until now.
Oh, is it in the circular around it?
Yeah, right. Oh, the background pattern.
Very nice.
Can you see it? Yeah, that
when you do readings, like for people, like typically how long do they last? Is it dependent upon what that person asks of you, or how does that work for you?
Yes. Well, I like at least 30 minutes.
That makes sense.
That'll get into, giving you a little bit of information. If you'd like to go deeper, it can get pretty deep. It could be longer, an hour, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times something might come out and then you go take care of it. And then you might have more that you would like information. I like to work on clearing patterns of behavior, your own patterns of behavior, and then calling in some help, in the form of a prayer or an affirmation, kind of like a clearing your mind so you can start fresh and, kind of leaving in a way that you feel empowered and not disempowered, because that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. 100%. That's awesome. Thank you for doing our little quick reading. So how would people get in contact with you if they wanted to book?
They can send me an email. It's angelonielmessages@gmail.com.
Okay. So I'll put that in the description.
Okay.
Awesome. So yay. Thank you for being here. And thank you for spending time with us. So wonderful. I say cheers to you, Nancy.
Cheers.
And
glass.
And everyone, thank you for being here. We'll have Nancy back again and enjoy. I think I'm probably going to put it out this weekend, but it doesn't really matter because whenever you find this, it was meant for you at this time.
Exactly.
So, again, thanks everyone. Thanks for being here. And I'm also going to include down below my Empowered Lane toolbox. It's something that I recently got done and it's free. You just have to click on the link and then you can download. It'll send you an email and you can download it. And it's just to create the toolbox that I talk about all the time. That it's kind of like the things we were talking about today, right? It's just getting empowered. How do we do that? How do we get ourselves out of a funk? And everybody should have some tools for themselves, just how do I get through this? I know I can breathe, but what else do I have at my disposal? So it's free to you, my gift. to you so that you can move through life with a little more ease and have a toolbox. So yeah, thank you. And I'll see you next time. Maybe in the morning on a breathing, and maybe with Nancy as a guest, or maybe on my toxic swaps. Ciao for now, everyone.